Hey Gemini, welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and today I'll be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, and abundance reading for the month of April 2023. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I'm using my Morgan Greer Tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and then I will close out your reading, Gemini, with a Crystal Angels Oracle card. All right. Wow. All right, so we are getting some nice cards here. All right, Gemini, so as we start off the month of April, looks like you have a lot of change, but you also have some good news coming in as it relates to money. You also have a cash flow card here. We've got the Ace of Rods, also the Ace of Wands. That card literally means cash in hand. But let's start with the World card. Now, the World card in the reverse means there's something unfinished, so you really need to take care of that because there's something that you need to do before you can progress to the next step or the next level, especially as it relates to your money. So what is it that needs to be finished, completed, redone, reevaluated before you take the next step towards your financial goals? Okay, the World card says there's something that needs to be, finished, completed before you can move forward. Now, we already talked about this Ace of Rods. That's literally the cash flow card, meaning cash in hand. The other thing about that card is that it means that growth is starting to happen, prosperity, progress. Things are really starting to expand. That's a very good card, especially if you have a business or a side hustle that you're working through. The other thing about the Ace of Rods is that it means it starts a brand new source of income coming your way. So again, if it's not direct cash coming to you, this could be a new source of income that you finally start seeing pay off. So that's really good. We have the Five of Wands. Now, that's a communication card. Pay attention to the conversations that you have throughout the month of April, especially any type of conversation that is money focused or financial focused or investment business focused. You really want to get everything documented. You want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, and you want to take notes if possible. And really understand that communication is key, okay? People need to understand where you're coming from and where you're going. And you also need to have that same input from other people, okay? So nobody is left confused or wondering what the heck happened. Now, we also have the Death card. I like seeing the Death card because this is a card of transformation. Literally every aspect of your life is going to look different because of the changes and the things that you're doing in the month of April, Gemini. Death card literally means the death of oneself, rebirth into the new self. So depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, the Death card represents that things are definitely changing for the better. Now, sometimes though, these changes can happen very suddenly and abruptly, sometimes unexpectedly, but you have to understand that things are happening for the better and they are working in your favor, okay? This is a transition. So this is very exciting because especially for those of you who are building businesses, who are trying to really change your life in every aspect, especially with money, you definitely will be having some support, and you will be feeling that energetic shift as these changes happen. Now, we also have the Empress card. The Empress card in the reverse talks about something being stalled or something kind of being stagnant or something not moving forward as it should. Now, this is not anything to be alarmed about because it just means you have to double check or triple check something because something is getting in the way of progress. Something is holding things up as it relates to your money growing. So all we need to do is fix whatever that is, and then the progress and the growth will continue to happen. But again, you need to be aware there's something getting in the way of things normally progressing financially. Finally, we have that Page of Pentacles. Like I said, that's really good news as it relates to your money. This is going to be some type of fantastic announcement. This is going to be something really good and really positive as it relates to money. Now, it could be anything. Okay, so you're probably going to hear about that in that first week of April. Okay. Okay, Gemini, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of April 2023. Now we have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, two knights here. These are cards of support, meaning somebody is going to show up and help you in the best way. This is work, this is money. There's definitely going to be some help, some type of assistance coming through for you, and it's definitely going to help you make more money. Okay, this could be a coach, a mentor, it could be somebody giving you advice, it could be a loan coming through. I mean, it could be anything. Whatever type of help or support you need as it relates to work or money, you're definitely going to see that showing up for you roughly in that second week of April. We also have, now this is interesting because this is the Eight of Pentacles, which means very busy work, very heavy work, you know, like a very heavy workload, roughly around mid-April. The other thing is that we also have this Seven of Swords. This means somebody's taking something, but let me not get ahead of myself. So you're going to be working a lot. You're going to be definitely having a increased workflow roughly in the middle of April. We also have the Moon card. Now the Moon card talks about information not known or not seen. Something is hidden. It could be deliberately or undeliberately, but it means that you don't have all the information. And this kind of got my attention here because it means that somebody's taking something, and this means that you may not know what's going on, at least not now. So I'm picking up that there's somebody just taking something. That's very interesting. Like somebody is walking away with something. Could it be stealing? Yes, of course. But it could also be somebody just kind of shifting things around in the background, you know, kind of rearranging things to where they have an advantage or it benefits them more than it benefits other people. That's more specifically what I'm picking. So they're not necessarily stealing, but they're rearranging things behind the scenes so they get a better outcome that benefits them. Okay, so this is something, I have a feeling that your intuition is going to kind of lead you to who this is, Gemini. Let's see what else shows up throughout the month and see if we get any more insight on that. Okay, so what else do we need to know for the sign of Gemini as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of April 2023? All right, Gemini. So we have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords talks about being disappointed about something. We also have the Death card. So I do feel like whatever starts here, you're definitely going to see things moving here, and maybe things kind of stop moving here once we hit the second half of April, okay, especially as it relates to your money. It doesn't necessarily mean that things are still not changing, but I do get the sense that whatever kind of movement and transitions were happening here looks like they either slow down or stop completely once we hit the middle of the month. We also have the Queen of Wands. Now this talks about changes in your physical environment as it relates to money. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something minor like a changing of office furniture or maybe even a location of some sort. We also have the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant talks about making up your own rules. Now sometimes that's what you need to do in order to win the game of money. Sometimes you need to play things your own way, right? Sometimes you need to do it, you know, take risks and kind of be bold and kind of do something different and something that people would say, oh, you can't do that. Well, yes, you can, Gemini. And I think you will once we hit the second half of April. We also have the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this is a card we have to pay attention to because it talks about overspending and overindulging as it relates to finances. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself, but we have to make sure we don't overdo it, okay? There's nothing wrong with buying yourself a new dress or a new pair of shoes or a new wallet, whatever the case may be, but we have to do that within reason, okay? Finally, we have the Five of Cups. This is you feeling a little regretful about something, and it fell on to this card here, so I'm wondering if maybe you see what's going on as it relates to this Seven of Swords here, the card we talked about earlier, but for some reason, maybe you're hesitating. Maybe you're hesitating on doing something or saying something, Gemini. All right, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of April 2023. Oh, interesting. We get this card again. Okay, so now this card tells me that whatever is going on here, you're not going to get all the details, okay? But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes the less you know about something, the better, right? Because you can't be responsible for something that you know nothing about. And I think that's actually going to work in your favor, because what I'm picking up intuitively is like this situation here is going to hit the fan, and you are unaware of it. And so that kind of alleviates you kind of being responsible or getting any type of blame or anything. Okay, so that's definitely going to work out in your favor. But let's start here with Temperance card. Temperance card means that things are going to be a little out of balance, a little out of sync as it relates to finances. Again, that's normal, because the journey of wealth is never completely stable and totally balanced, right? So understand that that's temporary, and that's all normal when you are trying to make more money, increase your wealth, and so forth. We also have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords talks about feeling a little anxious. Again, I don't think this is anything serious. I'm not picking up that there's anything to worry about, but you know, you're going to feel the whole gamut of emotions when you're trying to increase your income. But things definitely work in your favor. The Strength card, you definitely overcome any challenges, any financial setbacks, which I don't see any. But the thing about the Strength card is that it just means that you have the strength and the tenacity to keep moving forward, and you totally do. We also have the Chariot card, which means that, again, things are happening all over the place, right? The thing about this Chariot card in reverse is it means that you have something happening over here and then something happening over here. And so your attention is divided. Your energy is kind of scattered because you have so many things happening at once. Now, sometimes this can be exciting for a lot of people, especially Geminis, because they have the personalities where they can kind of really switch up as needed, right? But some people get frustrated when they have to do a lot of things at once. So again, this really depends on your personality, your temperament, what what your work style is, I guess, what your money personality is. But again, I don't see this as a negative, because I do see it as where you have so many things going on that, yes, it may be a little overwhelming and stressful, but when all is said and done, I'd rather have several piles of money, than just one. So that's definitely something good. And again, we talked about this Moon card. The Moon card is a repeater card. Like I said, I think you not knowing all the details about this sticky situation here is definitely going to work in your favor. That's definitely a positive card. Sometimes it's better not to know something, because then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to give it any type of, mental headspace. You don't have to figure out how to solve the problem. Again, I think this is definitely going to be something that helps you and it doesn't hurt you. So Gemini, you've got a really interesting month here. You've got a lot of things going on, but it looks like it's a lot of you just kind of paying attention to what needs to be done and then you doing it, right? Every month isn't going to be exciting, but every month is going to be something that is where, I guess, productive would be the word. I think that's what I'm picking up with these cards here, is that it's a very productive month where you get a lot of results, and you kind of just experience them as they happen. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Crystal Angels Oracle card. All right, so you got the card Angelite. This is spiritual or religious community. Join with like-minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth. Very interesting. So connecting with like-minded people for friendship and spiritual growth, and because we're talking about money, connecting with people for maybe financial growth as well. I don't see anything wrong with that. So Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop them down below. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch. We'll do it all again next month.